Welcome to Exclusive with Taghreed Hussein here on Nile TV International, and this special edition covering the visit of President of South Korea, President Moon Jae-in, as he is in Egypt in order to foster this sense of partnership between both countries upon an invitation from President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. A very significant visit by South Korean President Moon Jae-in to Egypt to further enhance potentials of cooperation in the different fields, namely energy, infrastructure, and construction, as was announced by South Korean Ambassador to Egypt, Hong Jin-wook, in a press conference highlighting the details of the visit of the Korean president to the country. President Moon's visit to Egypt is part of a Middle East tour that includes the United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia. The South Korean president visits Egypt upon the invitation of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. Both leaders aim to further develop the comprehensive cooperative partnership between the two countries. Means of promoting cooperation in eco-friendly businesses is also on the agenda. Ambassador Hong asserted the deep friendship binding Egypt and South Korea, and that the two countries have realized substantial development in their relations over the last quarter of a century. Following President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi's historic visit to South Korea back in 2016 and the adoption of the Comprehensive Cooperative Partnership, the two countries have been working to push forward the level of coordination and cooperation on all fronts. There have been summit meetings between President al-Sisi and President Moon on the sidelines of the UN General Assembly in September 2018, and phone conversations held last year in March and October. The two leaders share a similar vision concerning a number of regional and international issues and agreed to continue the regular policy coordination and high-level exchange while upgrading the level of partnership. The year 2021 was a very successful year for Egypt and South Korean relations at the political, economic, and cultural levels. Ambassador Hong always stresses that his country considers itself a loyal friend to Egypt and a strategic partner in the region. His Excellency Hong recognizes the importance of public diplomacy to make sure that the two countries' great relations are sustainable and future-oriented. The Korean government has selected Egypt as a priority country for official development assistance and a key development partner in the MENA region during the period of 2021 to 2025. This will definitely reflect on cooperation projects as more funding will be availed, thereby hence increasing the size of the economic cooperation. Ambassador Hong believes relations between both countries represent a good model for a successful partnership that will be further developed. In addition to energy, construction, and infrastructure, the visit also enhances cooperation in the fields of public health and science and hydrogen. Collaboration between the two countries has been productive, yielding numerous economic benefits. Commerce between Egypt and South Korea surged by 46.9% to $1.8 billion in the first 10 months of 2021. Oil goods, cement, granite, ready-made clothes, machineries and equipment, as well as automobiles and medical items. Egypt has made innovation, digitalization, construction, agriculture, and education as central pillars of its sustainable development cooperation strategy with South Korea. There is also mutual benefit of cooperation with South Korea in the field of technology that led to the establishment of the Beni Suef Technological University that equips Egyptian youth with essential digital skills for the future labor force. Obsessed by the glittering ceremony of the reopening of the Avenue of the Sphinx in Luxor, Ambassador Hong announced that he would promote Egyptian tourist destinations to the Korean people in order to taste all those merits of land, culture, and people, appointing himself as the honorary Egyptian cultural ambassador to Seoul.
룩소르에 있는 엘카바시 로드죠. 그 스핑크스 로드를 관람하면서 제 스스로가 저는 한국 대사가 아니다. I'd like to appoint myself to be the Egyptian cultural ambassador to Korea, not the Korean ambassador to Egypt, because I was so impressed with the wonderful cultural heritages of Egypt at the time.
If we are going to talk further about this sense of partnership and cooperation that has been lasting for centuries, the main axis for the discussions on the presidential visit, and also I loved the part that Your Excellency is the cultural ambassador of Egypt to South Korea. So talking to take further our relations in the field of media communication and soft power. Thank you.
Yes, well, as was rightly expressed by Dr. Taghreed Hussein, I cannot take too much emphasis on the importance of people-to-people exchange and people-to-people understanding, because I'm always saying like this, our intergovernmental relations between Egypt and Korea is already super. Very nice, nothing to be desired. But in order to make it further developed, in order to make it something sustainable, I think what is most important is the very approval from our people. Without the recognition, without the approval from our people, I don't think we can make our relations to be something sustainable for the future. And it is a great time for pursuing that purpose, especially paying attention to the fact that the like 60% of the Egyptian population is under the age of 30. So if we make a wonderful relation with the present Egyptian generation, I'm sure our relations can develop further, at least for the following 50 years. And that is why we have been investing a lot of our resources for strengthening the cultural cooperation by way of increasing people-to-people exchanges, and also by way of hosting a series of cultural performances, both through face-to-face meetings, and also during the pandemic we just didn't wait until it is gone. We already began, especially by the Korean Cultural Center, we have already begun a very creative way of having continuous contacts between our people, both through like online and offline method. So as I already mentioned, probably before you were here, I already put emphasis on the discussion between our two top leaders on the cultural cooperation and people-to-people exchanges in order to form the sustainable basis for our future collaboration, which is most important. I can't agree with you more.
The visit of South Korea's president to Egypt will definitely take relations into new highs, having a very good impact on relations as it moves forward on a road of efficiency and success. That was exclusive with Taghreed Hussein here on Nile TV International, as we have covered a recap covering the visit of President Moon Jae-in of South Korea to Egypt, further fostering bilateral cooperation between both countries. And as we've already seen throughout the centuries, how this outstanding relations between Egypt and South Korea has been flourishing, as we are celebrating this year the 27th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic ties between both countries.